#1 business and self-development podcast, Konnected Minds Podcast.
What's the biggest struggle you've had in your life that has made you who you are today? The biggest struggle.
So, some of the biggest struggles, for example, I grew up, I was raised by my dad. So, my mom wasn't in my life as much. Although she was alive, she wasn't there as much. I never used to see her often. And I was always broken because many girls would be spending time with their moms, and when we meet up, they'd be like, my mom did this for me. I went here with my mom, or me and my mom have plans to do this. But it wouldn't be the same for me. So I used to be very broken because I didn't get the kind of love or support that many girls get from their mom. Yeah, and it's played a big role, and because of that lack of that support, I always felt empty, like there was something missing. And it affected me, obviously. And I always used to ask God, why isn't my mom in my life, And then the hardest thing is that she wasn't in my life and she was alive. But then later I had a talk with her. This is actually the second last time I saw my mom before she passed away. And I asked her, why you always gone? You leave me alone. I'm a girl and I'm the only girl in my family and I'm the last born. So who is supposed to teach me about being a female? Like when you start your period, you need your mom there to guide you. When you're maturing as a woman, you're moving from being a girl to a woman, you need guidance. So I didn't have aunties around. I didn't have my mom. I had to figure so many things out by myself, by asking my friends questions and trying to check online, And many times it will be very shameful. Like I remember there's a time I had this might seem little, but I know there are people who will relate. There's a time a friend told me, can you change your hairstyle? You've had it for so long. It really doesn't look good. You need to change it. And I was so ashamed. I was like, oh my God, it's true. I need to change it. But it hadn't crossed my mind because it wasn't a priority to me. Because you didn't have a woman who showed you how to take care of yourself. I don't know if you get my point. So mothers are very important. Even if it's not your mother, a female figure that will show you, take care of yourself like this. Don't let yourself go too far. So many things used to happen where my friends will tell me, no, do this. And be like, oh yeah. It might seem like common sense, but when you're small, it really is not common sense because you haven't been shown. So many things used to happen that are very embarrassing. And I just had to figure life by myself because there are discussions you can't have with your dad as a girl. It's embarrassing. And you know what? Even if you had the discussion with your dad, he wouldn't understand you. Although he loves you and he cares and he will do what he can to help. But some things only a mother can understand or only a female. Sometimes you also want to rant. We deal with so many things as females. Sometimes you need someone to talk to. I just have brothers and my dad. And I felt like they won't understand where I'm coming from. Sometimes they say like even when a wife has had a crazy long day and she comes home to talk to the husband's like, she's talking too much. Like, yeah, blah. Sometimes you just want someone to rant with. And they'll be like, oh, yeah. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like I had to figure so many things out by myself and I just had to lean on myself. That's it.
Let's say looking back to the struggles you've been through as a family and you individually and where you are today, are you happy?
Oh, yeah. I still have some challenges that I'm dealing with, but how you put it, looking back, I feel like I've come so far. And I honestly need to be proud of myself because I've worked hard and I am where I never thought that I would be. I remember when I was still earning the $100, less than $100, someone reached out, a fan reached out from Portugal. And they said, oh, I'm such a big fan of yours. I want to invite you to Portugal. I'm going to send you an invitation later. And when you come, you can stay in my house. We'll move you around, so don't worry about transportation. We got you. I was so excited. That's all they said. All you have to do is pay for your flight ticket. So I Googled for flight tickets. And then my heart just dropped, because the flight ticket that I saw was about $900, and I was making $100. So that would mean I will have to work for about 1 year to be able to get this money to pay for a flight ticket. So I remember feeling so low, and I remember just crying. And I went to my room and I knelt down and I prayed, and I was like, God, I need you to make a way for me. This can't be it. Like, I can't be living on $100. I can't even afford, so that was a time in my life where even a flight ticket was impossible to buy, because you're earning $100. $900 was so big to me. Like, oh my God, how?